Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. We're dedicated to exploring first-hand accounts from people who've experienced near-death events and other spiritual phenomena. Today we're diving into the remarkable story of Jessie Green. Jessie claims she had a profound near-death experience, encountered a divine presence, and received startling insights about December 2025. If you haven't yet joined our community, hit that subscribe button now. And don't forget to drop a comment with your name and where you're from. Now, let's delve into Jessie's incredible journey. I'm Jessie Green, and I'm about to recount an experience that irrevocably altered my life. As I approach December 2025, my heart is a whirlwind of emotions, nervousness, excitement, and above all, a profound sense of purpose. At 34 years old, living in Seattle, Washington, my life up until 2018 was quite typical. I worked as a data analyst, spent weekends hiking with my partner Alex, and occasionally questioned if there was more to life than the routine grind. I was never deeply religious or spiritual. My background in engineering had instilled a very practical view of the world. I believed in only what was tangible and measurable. The concept of anything beyond the physical realm seemed at best a pleasant delusion for those afraid of the unknown. Little did I anticipate that my viewpoint would be completely upended by an event that would challenge all I thought I knew about reality. Reflecting on my life before 2018, it seems like I was living in a dream, oblivious to the deeper truths of existence. But destiny, or perhaps something far greater, had different plans for me. As I sit here on the brink of what I believe to be a pivotal moment in human history, I feel compelled to share my experience. This isn't about self-promotion or seeking attention, but rather I believe my story can offer hope and direction for a world on the verge of profound change. What I'm about to share isn't merely a tale of survival or an extraordinary near-death episode. It's a testimony to a grander reality that envelops us, but often goes unnoticed in our daily lives. It's a message of hope, boundless love, and a promising future for humanity. I urge you to open both your mind and your heart as I recount my journey. This is more than just intellectual understanding. It's something that must be deeply felt and fully embraced. Prepare for a story that pushes the boundaries of what we deem possible, starting with a harrowing accident in the mountains of Washington and unfolding into a journey through the divine and back, bearing a message with the potential to transform the world. It was a crisp autumn day in 2018, one of those picture-perfect days that seemed almost too beautiful to be real. The sky was a vivid blue, scattered with fluffy clouds like spun sugar. The mountainsides were ablaze with brilliant hues of red, orange, and gold, creating a breathtaking panorama. Alex and I decided to seize the day with a road trip through the Washington Mountains, a favorite activity of ours. I distinctly recall the energy of that morning, an inexplicable sense of anticipation. I chalked it up to the day's beauty and the joy of spending uninterrupted time with Alex, away from the pressures of work and daily routines. Little did I know that this day would become a turning point in my life. We left at dawn, our favorite tunes playing softly on the car's speakers as we navigated the twisting mountain roads. Every bend revealed spectacular vistas, and we chatted enthusiastically about our future dreams. Dreams that now seemed trivial compared to what was about to unfold. As we ascended higher into the mountains, the road grew narrower and more precarious. Although we had made this journey countless times, I felt at ease, even with the steep cliffs running alongside. Taylor was driving, her grip firm and assured on the wheel. Everything changed in an instant as we approached a particularly sharp curve. A car coming from the opposite direction suddenly veered into our lane. Whether it was due to the driver's surprise at the bend or a fleeting lapse in concentration didn't matter in that crucial moment. I saw Taylor's face register sheer horror as she desperately wrenched the wheel to avoid a collision. The car skidded uncontrollably, and for a moment, it seemed we might have narrowly missed the other vehicle. But our relief was short-lived as the car continued to slide, now heading straight for the edge of the road. Time seemed to stretch and slow. I saw every detail with almost eerie clarity. The leaves fluttering in the breeze, the sun glinting off our car's hood, Taylor's expression of pure dread, and the yawning void beyond the road's edge, inviting us into nothingness. Our car crashed through the guardrail as if it were made of paper. For a brief, suspended moment, it felt as though we were floating in midair. Then the descent began. The car spun violently, once, twice, 3 times. Each jolt was like a thunderclap, metal groaning and glass exploding. I was slammed hard against the seatbelt, every bone in my body feeling as if it was being violently shaken. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity, the car came to a stop. We were upside down, held in place only by our seatbelts. The silence that followed was overwhelming, broken only by the occasional creak of metal and the distant sound of wind. As I opened my eyes, disoriented and in shock, I glimpsed the sky and treetops through the shattered windshield. It struck me with dread that we were precariously balanced on the edge of a cliff, the car held precariously by a fragile strip of twisted metal. At that moment, caught between life and death, my true journey began, a journey that would shatter my understanding of reality and transform my view of the universe. As the car hung precariously on the cliff's edge, a profound sense of calm washed over me. The initial terror faded, replaced by a serene acceptance of what seemed inevitable. I glanced at Taylor, who was unconscious beside me, a thin trickle of blood running from her forehead. I wanted to reach out and comfort her, but my body refused to move. In that state of utter helplessness, something extraordinary began to occur. My perception began to shift in ways I had never imagined. It felt as though my consciousness was expanding, liberating itself from the confines of my physical form. First came a sensation of weightlessness, as if the physical burden of my body was melting away. The pain from the crash was absent, replaced by a deep, unusual peace and mental clarity that was both comforting and strange. Then, I realized I was somehow observing the scene from outside my body. I could see the mangled car, the twisted metal, and my own form still strapped in the seat. Yet, I felt no fear, just a profound sense of wonder at the unfolding experience. I could see Taylor and me trapped in the wreck, but my awareness extended beyond that. I perceived the surrounding trees, the sky above, and even the road where we had fallen. It was as if I could view in all directions simultaneously, a perspective that my rational mind knew was impossible, but felt perfectly natural at that moment. As this heightened awareness grew, I began to notice something even more extraordinary. The world around me, the trees, the rocks, even the air, seemed to pulse with a vibrant energy I had never sensed before. Each object emitted a gentle light, and I could feel the invisible connections linking everything. What was most astonishing was the realization that I was not alone in this experience. I sensed the presence of countless other consciousnesses around me. These weren't physical entities I could see with my eyes, but rather presences I felt with a part of me I hadn't known existed. These presences were warm, welcoming, and overwhelmingly loving. One such presence drew closer, or rather, it became more perceptible to me. There were no words exchanged, but I understood the communication clearly. It was an invitation to move beyond the physical realm and explore this new plane of existence. For a moment I hesitated, looking back at the wrecked car and the unconscious Taylor, feeling a pang of worry and attachment. But the presence assured me that this was merely a transition, not an end. With that reassurance, I surrendered fully to the experience. It was like diving into an ocean of light and consciousness. The last remnants of my connection to the physical world were released, and I found myself entering a completely new realm of existence. As I entered this new plane of reality, my consciousness expanded further. I began to grasp concepts that had previously eluded me. I saw the interconnectedness of all things and the unity underlying all existence. I realized that what we perceive as death is merely a transition, a change in state rather than an end. In this elevated state of awareness, time as we know it ceased to exist. I cannot say how long my journey in this realm lasted, whether it was seconds or eons. What I do know is that each moment was filled with profound revelations and transformative experiences beyond the reach of human language. I found myself at the intersection of two worlds, one rooted in the physical realm with its constraints and challenges, and the other a realm of infinite possibilities, unconditional love, and universal wisdom. It was in this expanded state of existence that I received a vision that would not only alter my life, but could potentially shape the future of humanity. As I floated in this expanded consciousness, something extraordinary began to unfold. It was as though the very fabric of the universe was unraveling, revealing secrets and truths normally beyond human comprehension. My attention was suddenly drawn to Earth, not as seen from a satellite or spaceship, but from a far more comprehensive perspective, as if I could perceive not only the physical planet, but also its energetic and spiritual dimensions. As I watched, waves of golden light began to envelop Earth, pulsating with increasing intensity. It was as though the planet itself was awakening, elevating its vibration to a new level of existence. And then, as if a cosmic lens had been adjusted, my focus shifted to a specific point in time. September 2024 blazed with a brilliance that dwarfed everything else around it. It was as though this month had become a radiant beacon, capturing the gaze of the entire cosmos. I instinctively understood, no words were needed, that this would mark a period of profound metamorphosis for humanity. I witnessed millions of individuals worldwide undergoing simultaneous spiritual awakenings, as if the veils obscuring their vision were being lifted, revealing the true essence of reality for the first time. I saw energetic waves sweeping across the globe, igniting ancient power centers and sparking new consciousness. Sacred sites like pyramids and stone circles began to vibrate with a renewed vigor, preparing to play pivotal roles in this monumental shift. Even more striking was the transformation within humanity's collective consciousness. I observed the barriers separating people dissolving, replaced by a deep sense of unity and interconnectedness. Conflicts that once seemed intractable began to resolve as people awoke to their true nature as spiritual beings having a human experience. The vision broadened, showcasing the long-term ramifications of this shift. A new era of peace, cooperation, and mutual understanding unfolded. Groundbreaking advances in science and technology, fueled by this newfound grasp of reality, provided solutions to critical global issues, from climate change to disease eradication. What struck me most was humanity's evolving relationship with the Earth and the cosmos. I saw people reconnecting with nature, treating the planet not as a mere resource, but as a living entity deserving of respect and care. Humanity began taking its first genuine steps toward becoming a cosmic civilization, not only exploring physical space, but also delving into the spiritual dimensions of the universe. However, the vision also revealed that this awakening would come with its share of trials. I saw periods of turmoil and disarray as outdated structures and systems that no longer served the greater good began to collapse. People grappled with adapting to this new reality, with some embracing the change eagerly, while others resisted out of fear of the unknown. I realized that those of us who had glimpsed this broader reality would play a crucial role in guiding others through this transformation. As the vision faded, I was overwhelmed by a profound sense of unconditional love and compassion for all humanity. I grasped that despite the forthcoming challenges, the ultimate outcome would be an unprecedented evolution in human consciousness. September 2024 would mark not an end, but the dawn of a new era for humanity. When the vision dissipated, I felt irrevocably changed. I carried not only the foresight of what was to come, but also the weighty responsibility of helping to facilitate this monumental shift. In an instant, my journey through the spiritual realm ended. I felt myself being forcefully pulled back into my physical body, like plunging into icy water after basking in the sun. The transition was abrupt and disorienting. Opening my eyes, I found myself once again in the wrecked car. The stark contrast between the expansive freedom I had experienced and the constraints of my physical body was overwhelming. For a moment, a profound sadness and sense of loss enveloped me, as if I had been torn away from a place I now felt was my true home. Gradually, the sounds around me became clearer, the creak of metal settling, the wind rustling through the broken windows, and in the distance, the wail of approaching sirens. The reality of our accident reasserted itself with a harsh intensity. I turned to Katrina, who lay unconscious beside me, and the sheer terror for her safety yanked me back to the present. My voice, raw and trembling, called out her name repeatedly. After what felt like an eternity, she stirred, emitting a faint moan. The relief that surged through me was beyond words. Despite the overwhelming experience I just endured, my immediate and profound concern for Katrina was very real. I recognized that, Transformative as my journey had been, I was still grounded in the human world, still deeply connected to the people around me. The next few minutes were a chaotic blur. Emergency teams arrived and worked meticulously to free us from the wreckage. I remember being lifted onto a stretcher, the clear blue sky above offering a stark contrast to the surrounding chaos. I clung desperately to the memories of my experience, afraid they might vanish like a fleeting dream. The vision of September 2024 was etched in my mind, a promise and a burden I knew I would carry indefinitely. At the hospital, the doctors were astonished by our condition. Aside from some cuts and bruises, Katrina and I had emerged remarkably unharmed. They termed it a miracle, and in many ways, it truly was. Yet while my physical state was largely intact, my inner world had undergone a radical transformation. I looked at the people around me, doctors, nurses, fellow patients, and perceived them in an entirely new light. I could sense an inner radiance within each person, a divine spark connecting them to the broader cosmos. The worries that once preoccupied me, like work deadlines or bills, now seemed trivial compared to the vastness of the universe and the interconnectedness of all life. In the days following the accident, I wrestled with readjusting to everyday life. The world appeared both familiar and alien, with colors more vivid, sounds more resonant, and every moment imbued with a significance that I struggled to grasp fully. Katrina noticed the change in me almost immediately. She looked at me with a blend of concern and curiosity, sensing something profound had occurred, but unable to fully comprehend it. I attempted to convey my experience to her, but words fell short of capturing its true depth. As days turned into weeks and weeks into months, I realized that my return wasn't just a return to the physical world, but a transition to a new chapter in my life. I carried not only the memories of my journey, but also a mission to prepare myself and others for the significant transformation ahead. The path ahead was daunting. I anticipated facing skepticism, misunderstanding, and even derision. Yet, I was buoyed by the enduring connection I felt with the universe and all life, a continuous source of strength and guidance. As I physically healed from the accident, I began to strategize how to share my message with the world. Although September 2024 seemed distant, I knew time would pass swiftly. There was much work to be done, people to reach, minds to open, hearts to inspire with the potential of the future. My return was not an end, but a beginning. A new journey was unfolding, one that would lead me to places I had never envisioned and connect me with others who, like me, dreamed of a better world. Despite the uncertainties ahead, I faced it with hope and a spirit fortified by the universal love I had experienced. My experience was, to say the least, surreal. I found myself torn between two worlds, the physical reality with its familiar routines and expectations, and the spiritual realm that I had glimpsed, the memory of which still reverberated in every fiber of my being. The first change I noticed was a profound shift in perception. Colors were more vibrant, sounds richer, and more intricate. It felt as though my senses had been amplified, allowing me to experience the world with an intensity I had never known. Sometimes this heightened perception was overwhelming. A simple sunset could leave me in tears, overcome by the beauty and the deep awareness of the interconnectedness of all things. Sleep became a struggle. My dreams were vivid and laden with symbolism, often transporting me back to that realm of light and expanded consciousness. I frequently woke in the middle of the night, drenched in sweat and disoriented, with the boundary between dream and reality blurred. My relationship with time had also shifted drastically. Hours could slip by as I was lost in contemplation or meditation, reflecting on the implications of my experience and the vision of September 2024. Yet each moment felt infinitely precious, imbued with potential and meaning. During this turbulent period, Katrina became my anchor. Her presence was a tangible manifestation of the love and connection I had felt on the spiritual plane, now embodied in the physical world. She listened patiently as I tried, often unsuccessfully, to articulate what I had experienced. Even when I couldn't fully convey it, her unwavering support was crucial to my process of readjustment. However, not everything was harmonious between us. My new perspective on life inevitably caused friction in our relationship. Matters that once seemed important, career advancement, material possessions, now felt trivial. Katrina, understandably, struggled to reconcile with this new version of me. Returning to work was another challenge. Sitting in front of a computer, dealing with codes and deadlines, felt surreal after experiencing the vastness of the cosmos. My colleagues noticed the change in me, though they couldn't quite pinpoint what was different. Some perceived me as distracted or disinterested, while others remarked on a newfound serenity I seemed to exude. It was during this period that I began to feel a calling to share my experience and the message I had received. I started tentatively, speaking to close friends about what had happened. Their reactions ranged from fascination to polite skepticism, but what surprised me was how many had their own stories to tell. Moments of deep connection, inexplicable experiences, insights that defied their usual worldview. I realized I wasn't alone. There were others who, like me, had glimpsed something beyond the everyday veil of reality. I began actively seeking them out, joining online discussion groups and attending lectures on spirituality and expanded consciousness. Simultaneously, I delved into books and studies on near-death experiences, quantum physics, spiritual philosophies, anything that could help me understand and contextualize my experience. The more I learned, the more I saw the connections between various fields of knowledge, all pointing to a larger, more interconnected reality than conventional understanding suggested. But not every day was filled with revelations and insights. There were moments of profound doubt when I questioned whether everything had been a hallucination caused by the trauma of the accident. There were days when the enormity of the task ahead, preparing people for the great transformation I had envisioned, felt overwhelming. In those moments, I would recall the feeling of unconditional love and acceptance from my spiritual journey. It provided me with the strength to persevere, to face skepticism and misunderstanding with compassion and patience. The journey was far from easy, but the deep connection I had experienced continued to guide and inspire me. Slowly, day by day, I began to find a balance between the spiritual insights I had gained and the physical world I still inhabited. My task became clear. It was not only about preparing others for the impending change, but also about integrating the lessons I had learned into my daily life. As the days turned into weeks and then months, I felt more equipped to face the journey ahead, understanding that each step I took was guided by a greater purpose. With a heart full of hope and determination, I began to plan how to share my message with the world, aware that September 2024 was drawing nearer. The urge to communicate what I had experienced grew stronger with each passing day. It wasn't merely a desire, but a deep, intrinsic need, as if every fiber of my being was aligned with this mission. I started modestly, sharing my story with close friends and family. Their reactions varied widely. Some listened with fascination, others with skepticism, and some with outright concern. Danielle, in particular, struggled to fully grasp the magnitude of my experience. While she had witnessed my transformation, she found it difficult to accept the profound nature of what I was claiming. Realizing the need for an accessible and non-threatening way to communicate my experience, I decided to start a blog. This platform allowed me to share not only my personal story, but also reflections on consciousness, spirituality, and human potential. To my surprise, the blog quickly gained a following. People from around the world reached out, sharing their own transcendent moments or expressing how my story had touched something deep within them. Encouraged by this response, I began accepting invitations to speak at small gatherings and local events. Initially, I was nervous, trembling before each audience. But as I continued to share my story, my confidence grew. I learned to articulate my experience in ways that resonated with people, regardless of their beliefs or backgrounds. One of the most challenging aspects was discussing the vision of September 2024. I knew it might be perceived as an apocalyptic prophecy or a New Age fantasy. I had to present it in a way that emphasized hope and potential for positive transformation rather than fear or fatalism. Along the way, I encountered unexpected allies. Scientists intrigued by the parallels between my experience and theories of quantum physics. Spiritual leaders who saw echoes of ancient wisdom traditions in my message. Environmentalists who resonated with the vision of a humanity more connected to the earth. However, opposition was inevitable. Skeptics dismissed my experience as a trauma-induced hallucination. Traditional religious leaders viewed my message as a threat to established doctrines. Friends and coworkers began to distance themselves, uncomfortable with my new perspective on life. Yet, each challenge only strengthened my resolve. I began to see resistance, not as an obstacle, but as an opportunity to refine my message and find more effective ways to convey the truths I had encountered. As my audience grew, so did the sense of responsibility I felt. People looked to me for guidance, hoping I had all the answers. It was an uncomfortable position to be in, fraught with the weight of expectation and the fear of not living up to it. I struggled with this new role, understanding that while I had insights and experiences, I did not have all the answers. My mission was not to provide definitive solutions, but to inspire and guide others as we all navigated this transformative journey together. In this evolving role, I sought to balance my newfound understanding with humility and openness. The path ahead remained uncertain, but I faced it with a heart full of hope and a spirit fortified by the universal love and connection I had experienced. Each day brought its own set of challenges and revelations, but with every step, I felt more attuned to the larger purpose that had become the guiding force of my life. I constantly remind myself that my role is not to be a guru or spiritual leader, but simply a messenger, sharing what I have experienced and encouraging others to seek their own truths. Today, nearly 7 years after my near-death experience, I find myself at the heart of a growing movement. People from all corners of the world are coming together, united by the vision of a more conscious and connected future. We organize conferences, retreats, and workshops, creating spaces where individuals can explore their own transcendental experiences and prepare for the transformation ahead. Technology plays a crucial role in our mission. Through social media, podcasts, and live broadcasts, we reach millions with our message. Our meditation and virtual reality apps help people expand their consciousness and connect with higher dimensions of reality. Despite these advances, as September 2024 approaches, I feel an increasing urgency. There is still so much to be done, so many people to reach, and sometimes the weight of responsibility feels overwhelming. In these moments, I turn to meditation, reconnecting with the sense of peace and unity I experienced during my journey beyond life. Danielle has remained by my side throughout this journey, and our relationship has evolved in ways neither of us could have predicted. She is not only my life partner, but also a crucial collaborator in our mission. Her grounded perspective complements my more ethereal outlook, keeping us anchored as we navigate these uncharted waters. Looking ahead to the months between us and September 2024, I feel a mix of anticipation and apprehension. The magnitude of what is to come sometimes seems beyond comprehension. But then I remember the vision I received and the unconditional love I experienced, and I know that no matter what happens, we are on the right path. Sharing this message has become more than a mission. It is the central purpose of my existence. Every person we reach, every mind we open to new possibilities, and every heart we touch with the promise of a brighter future is a victory. As we continue on this journey, I am confident that we are paving the way for a new era of human consciousness. As September 2024 draws nearer, the energy around us feels more intense. It's as if the very air is charged with expectation and possibility. Our network of conscious and awakened individuals grows exponentially, and it feels like we are on the threshold of something truly extraordinary. In the past few months, we have intensified our efforts to prepare as many people as possible for the imminent transformation. We organize mass meditation retreats where thousands come together to collectively raise their consciousness. These events create powerful energy fields that can be felt for miles. We also work tirelessly to spread practical knowledge to help people navigate the upcoming changes, including meditation techniques, practices to raise personal vibration, and methods to tune into subtler energies. Our augmented reality app, which guides users through consciousness-expanding exercises, has already surpassed 50 million downloads. However, not everything has been easy. As our message spreads, we face a rising tide of skepticism and even hostility. Some accuse us of spreading panic or false hope, while others label us as a cult or a dangerous movement. Dealing with this negativity is a constant challenge, but I strive to maintain compassion even in the face of the fiercest resistance. The journey continues to be one of profound transformation and growth. With each step forward, I am reminded of the importance of remaining true to the core of our message, that we are all interconnected and capable of profound change. September 2024 may bring its challenges, but it also holds the promise of a new beginning for humanity. And I am committed to walking this path with hope, resilience, and unwavering belief in the potential for a brighter future. An unexpected development has been the growing interest of the scientific community in our work. Researchers from several renowned universities are conducting studies into the effects of our practices on brain activity and overall well-being. Some have even begun exploring the possibility of large-scale shifts in collective consciousness. Although skepticism remains, I feel that we are beginning to build meaningful bridges between science and spirituality. Personally, I feel the change is intensifying within me. The connection to the spiritual realm that I experienced during my near-death experience seems to be strengthening. I have increasingly frequent visions and insights, often waking up in the middle of the night with crystal clarity about the next steps we should take. Danielle has been my rock throughout this entire process. Her steady presence keeps me grounded when I sometimes feel overwhelmed by the magnitude of what we are facing. Watching her blossom and develop a sensitivity to subtle energies has been one of the greatest joys of this journey. As September approaches, we are finalizing preparations for what we believe will be the culmination of all our work, a global mass meditation event, timed to coincide with the exact moment I saw in my vision. Millions of people around the world have already committed to participating, and we expect this number to grow even more in the weeks leading up to the event. However, amidst all this activity and anticipation, I am also acutely aware that the end result is beyond our control. My experience has shown me that there are much greater forces at play, and our role is simply to open ourselves and allow these forces to guide us through the transformation that is coming. There are times when I wonder if we are truly prepared for what is to come. The magnitude of the change I saw in my vision is overwhelming, and I know not everyone will welcome it with open arms. There will be confusion, fear, and resistance. Part of our work in the coming months will be to help people navigate these difficult emotions, offering support and guidance as we all adapt to a new reality. Despite these challenges, a prevailing sense of hope and anticipation fills me. I can feel the potential for a new chapter in human history looming on the horizon, a future where we are more connected to each other, to the planet, and to the cosmos. A future where our expanded consciousness allows us to tackle problems that once seemed insurmountable. As the days pass and September 2024 approaches, I find myself reflecting on the journey that brought me here. From the near-death experience that changed everything, to the challenges of sharing my message, to this moment of collective anticipation, every step seems to have been guided by a greater intelligence. Now, on the eve of this great transformation, I feel deep gratitude for everything I have experienced and everyone I have met along the way. Regardless of what September 2024 brings, I know we have done our best to prepare the ground for a new dawn of human consciousness. With a heart full of hope and eyes fixed on the horizon, I prepare, along with millions of others around the world, to welcome a new era. Today is August 31st, 2024, the day before the day I saw in my vision 7 years ago. The atmosphere around me is charged with an almost palpable energy. It feels as though the very air is vibrating with anticipation, and I sense that I'm not alone in this perception. In recent weeks, there has been a dramatic increase in interest in our message. People from all parts of the world, of all backgrounds and beliefs, are turning to us for guidance and understanding. The global meditation event scheduled for tomorrow has now surpassed 1 billion confirmed participants, a staggering number that underscores the widespread readiness for this change. However, as the day approaches, the increase in resistance and fear has become more palpable. Accusations of spreading panic and labels of charlatanism are mounting. Some governments have even issued warnings against our event. I understand these fears, Change on such a massive scale is bound to be unsettling. Yet, I hold steadfast to the belief that what is coming is a blessing for humanity, not a curse. Today I immersed myself in deep meditation, tuning into the energies that are gathering around us. What I felt was profound and challenging to articulate. It was as if the entire universe was holding its breath, waiting for the precise moment to exhale. During my meditation, I glimpsed what is to come. I saw waves of light cascading across the planet, touching every living being. I saw people awakening to a new reality, their eyes opening to truths that had always existed but had been previously obscured. I envisioned the dawn of a new era, characterized by unprecedented cooperation and understanding among all peoples. However, I also witnessed the challenges ahead. I saw confusion and fear as ancient structures began to crumble. I observed those who would resist change, desperately clinging to the familiar. I realized that our work, far from ending tomorrow, is only just beginning. Danielle is by my side as I write this, her presence a constant reminder of the love that has guided us here. She spent the day preparing in her own way, and I see in her eyes a reflection of the excitement and apprehension that mirror my own feelings. Our team is tirelessly finalizing preparations for tomorrow. We have support centers established globally, ready to assist people in navigating the forthcoming changes. Our online platforms are set to handle the immense influx of individuals seeking guidance and connection. As night falls, I feel an unusual calm envelop me. It is as if all the years of preparation, the doubts and struggles, the moments of joy and despair, have culminated in this moment. Tomorrow, as the sun rises, we will stand on the brink of a new era for humanity. Although I cannot predict precisely what this will bring, I trust in the vision and feelings I experienced during my journey beyond life. As I prepare for bed, I take one last look out the window. The night sky, filled with stars, serves as a reminder of the vastness and beauty of the universe of which we are a part. Tomorrow, we will take our first collective step towards a deeper understanding of this vastness. With a heart full of gratitude, love, and hope, I lay down to rest, ready to welcome the new day and the dawn of a new era for all of humanity. As we finalize preparations for tomorrow's historic event, the enormity of the moment is both exhilarating and daunting. Over 1 billion people have now confirmed their participation in the global meditation, and the numbers continue to rise. The media is a frenzy of speculation and anticipation, with some channels offering continuous coverage of our movement, while others warn against potential mass hysteria and urge caution. The stark divide in public opinion serves as a reminder of the challenges we face and the range of responses to this unprecedented moment. Throughout the day, I have felt waves of energy coursing through me, like premonitions of the transformation that is imminent. In moments of quiet, I can almost hear the universe whispering in anticipation of the Great Awakening. I reflect on the journey that led me to this point, from the near-death experience that altered everything, through years of doubt, struggle, and discovery, to this pivotal moment. My heart swells with gratitude for every part of this journey, even the most challenging. As night falls, Danielle and I prepare for rest. Tomorrow, we will rise before dawn to ready ourselves for the global meditation. As I lie down, my heart races with a mix of excitement and apprehension. What exactly will unfold tomorrow? How will the world change? How will people respond? I close my eyes and take a deep breath, seeking the peace and unity that I felt during my transcendental journey. It pulses gently beneath the surface of reality, waiting to be revealed to all. Tomorrow at 11:11 GMT, the world will take its first collective step towards an unprecedented change. Though I do not know precisely what this change will entail, I have faith in the vision and the profound sense of love and wisdom that guided me. As I drift to sleep on this historic night, my final thoughts are of hope. Hope for a new dawn, for a united humanity, and for a future filled with infinite possibilities. Tomorrow, we will embark on this transformative journey together. I am ready. We are ready. The world is ready. If you found this spiritual testimony inspiring, please consider liking, sharing your thoughts in the comments, subscribing to the channel, and activating the notification bell. Your support helps us reach a wider audience and spread this message of hope and transformation. See you next time.